Welcome to this update. Today I'm gonna be speaking about Bitcoin. Specifically, I'm gonna share my thoughts on the market and what I do expect. Right now there's a lot of talking points which I can make, but I'm gonna keep this brief, and I'm gonna explain my optimal thesis and scenarios which I'm looking forward to. Now, the first thing which I want to mention is that obviously this swing fair pattern above this weekly high, usually when that happens, it leads to two scenarios: either to a larger drawdown or to a prolonged consolidation. Right now in the market, what we can see, to be honest with everyone here, is that I don't think we have a narrative or potential play which can just blow us throughout here. And we are seeing some altcoins being down like 80-90% from the highs. And I've been talking about this for quite a while, that Bitcoin is in its own game, right? Bitcoin did barely nothing, it just dropped like 10%. So from 110 to currently 98, that's 10%, but to the overall low it was 20%. But however, we dropped down we had the naked point of control at 91.3. If I wanna come back and just show you the exact bottom and the reason we bottomed at that low, it was naked point of control. So let me just show you. There you go. So this is the naked point of control from the 13th of January. Pretty much tapped that, and then you kind of you rejected not only this naked point of control, but also a weekly level, which was essentially from this high over here. Essentially, so the weekly close. If I come back, show you what I mean. So you get that weekly level from here, and you rejected that exact level. Now, where do we stand? What I do expect? So if we check out pretty much what's going on under the hood, what we can see is essentially that open interest that has been built up pretty much since November has been wiped out, and we're getting these non-premium vibes, right? So the premium price, it got blown up pretty much over here right before the elections on Sunday, followed by a drop, pretty much doing the same thing but on the other extreme, right? I don't see anything, to be honest, that signals to me we gotta be bearish and we're gonna go lower. But I do think that essentially some consolidation and chop around these levels, which essentially that's what Bitcoin has been doing, right? After like quite scary event on the market. So as an example, 14th of August, dumped down with liquidations sideways for a while, then it goes and blows some steam, but this took about 4 months, right? I'm not saying we're gonna take 4 months to blow out through this range. We can blow out in 2 weeks, but I'm saying it usually, when you get a swing fair pattern like that, it either leads to a prolonged drawdown or a longer consolidation. And as I said, I don't think we are ready to break out of this range where we do stand. Yes, we did have some good readings to go along here, then we got that massive move up, rejected that, and we came back. Now into the lower term time frames, what we can be doing right now, if we check on the 15-minute, now you have a couple of options, right? So option number one, in my opinion, because right here you have like a base, this is the rejection, you have the base here, so pretty much you had this empty spot between 96, let's call it 96, you have these equal lows down here, and pretty much this area down here. So essentially you got accepted into this, you rotate it down to the base, not perfectly, but it's still okay, not that bad. And what I'm currently looking at, you have a couple of plays, right? So the first setup, which I would say, is if you come back into this base, kind of come into this extreme, you want to be coming into the extreme. In the mid, you're gonna get chopped up. So if you're trading here, you're gonna get chopped up. So you either want to be coming above these highs, essentially. Let me just show you quickly. So you want to be coming into 101 and 102.5, potentially set up some kind of trap, and you're gonna be you have two scenarios which you want to be trading. If this comes up and it keeps going up, and you essentially come into this area, 104, 103, and people get ready for the breakout, and then you come back below 102. This is where you want to be like shorting with stop loss above this, and you want to be attempting to come down into here, 94, 95. So you're essentially looking for a range to trade, right? You gotta be looking for a range to trade, which you want to be looking at this for potential low and this here for potential high with fake outs in between. So that's my preferred scenario, and I don't think we're ready to blow off the market right now, like to go like for full blast breakout. Of course, this changes if price just comes above here and just like slowly grinds up with these kind of lower high lows. And if that happens, then it's just a matter of time before you just like get a full-blown breakout. Now, of course, you do have another scenario where you actually do something like that. You come above this, the January point of control, you come above it, and then you start, coming into 111, 112, 113, and just like spending time here, but seeing big difference in the effort versus result, right? So imagine just price comes up here and start building these like lower highs, and then gets acceptance back in the range, and it's like slow grind towards the low. It's just gonna impulse down lower. Which is gonna get even more painful for the altcoins, in my personal opinion. The thing that's gonna give some health to the market overall is, I believe, a bit of a sideways price action in here for a week or 2 weeks. I think the current weekly candle is gonna close out pretty negative. Sorry, not negative, pretty neutral. Yeah, so this is the thing. You wanna see that neutral weekly candle. So the next weekly candle can be showing you the way. I mean, if the next weekly candle, not this one but the next one, closes positive, then you want to be looking for a fake out at the highs, because people are gonna be like, oh, we closed out neutral, then we closed out bullish, now we're looking for the breakout, and you just want to be fading these type of people. In my personal opinion, the thing that's keeping me up more bullish in terms of a thesis, right? So if you take a look at the EMA, so EMAs are great for a commodity that's trending. As an example, Bitcoin is trending quite well, so I believe EMAs are quite good for it. And that's the example which I'm gonna give. So you see the 13 EMA. So when you have momentum back in 2024 at the beginning, you kind of defended that even during this drop. You never closed the weekly candle below it, and then you try to, you close a weekly candle below it, and then you go into this prolonged range, right? So as an example, right now you're still not closing any weekly candle below it, and you're still into that trending scenario on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, you have the daily trend, which at the moment it's attempting to get above it, but it's a bit tricky, to be honest. Here it got defended pretty well, you got that new all-time high, but on the daily trend it's not that clear, in my personal opinion. Next thing which I'm going to be speaking about is going to be altcoins. So let's talk about some altcoins. So let's say on the monthly term time frame, what you want to be looking at is at altcoins which were down for the past 3 months and have the potential to close a positive weekly candle, positive monthly candle, right? So as an example, Ondo can close a bullish monthly. Doge probably, I mean, it has the potential, but still has a long time to go, but it did not go low for that long. So as an example, OP has been going down for 3 months, and if this monthly candle closes out bullish, then you're looking for this to be a base, and then to have like a green March or April. Yeah, so it's a possibility. Next thing is gonna be, let's say, some altcoin which has been going down. So yeah, let's talk about SHIB. So SHIB, if this monthly closes green, if it closes bullish, then you have the potential of this to be a base, and then you can form a place on that level. Yeah, there's a few other examples which have been in heavy drawdown. So as an example, Rune, I think this is not gonna be a green candle, but let's see, there's still 22 more days. I believe this project is a little bit insolvent, so I'm not paying that much attention to it. The beam has the potential if it comes back into the previous base and closes back inside of it on the monthly time frame. So this is like a high time frame playbook which you want to be using. Yeah, I know a lot of people talking about, let's say, Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance and USDT, and my current thoughts, to be honest with everyone here, is that so if you look at the USDC dominance, it is into the range volatile high, which has been rejected once, twice, potentially third time, and every single time got rejected. If you're like a bull run for the altcoins, and I believe we're not in a different place. So every time that this bull market has like brief out seasons which want to be capitalizing on. So as you can see here in December of 2024, you SFP that low, come back into the highs to SFP like this, equal highs, and reject the highs again. And then you're looking for that acceptance back into 168, 169 to have the rotation down to 128. And similar thing with USDT dominance. It rejected the OT from the low to the high. Essentially here you have lows, which are just getting ready to be wrecked, and we can move down into the 3.4 dominance, to be honest. So this is where I'm gonna cash out most of my altcoins. I believe Bitcoin dominance is ready to drop, as much as people don't like this opinion. In my personal opinion, we're into a high time frame resistance, high to low OT combined with a weekly level. I believe this sets up like a good place for Bitcoin dominance to top out. Also, if you take a look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, this is a good place to be putting in the low. And I've been talking about this high time frame play on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin evaluation, which in my opinion is ready to go. The first fib time which I've been having is on a high time frame, on the weekly time frame, which is actually next week. So maybe next week we start seeing some moves on the altcoins in the Ethereum. And that's how I view the market right now. I don't see anything bearish on altcoins. There's heavy drawdown already, so if something is down 80-90%, what's the point of looking at another 80-90% drawdown of it? It doesn't make much sense to me. Of course, I'm not saying go low YOLO and just go all in altcoins. I'm just saying you gotta be looking at a few metrics, right? So the first thing which you want to be looking at is the others dominance. Other dominance kind of here have a weak level. So let me just show you quickly what I mean by this. Here we have that extreme weekly, which actually this first weekly at 9%. Defended once, defended twice. Yes, the third time you break it, and you go into the lower one, which right now is gonna have a good possibility of closing green actually. You do have a new weak level up here, which was the previous inflection point from, what is this, December, and then up here you have like equal lows. So if you're just looking at this as some kind of a range where you have like low, high, low, high, this is a good place to be beating altcoins. Others, in terms of dominance, it pretty much did very technical thing. So high to low, the OT bottom in the summer, high to low, bottom in the spring, and now it's ready for a move up, in my opinion. Total 3, similar scenario where you get that OT from the low to the high, and as long as you're above 730 billion, you're looking for a nice move up on total 3. And essentially my high time frame on total 3 is 1.3 trillion. Of course, this is like a much macro, it can play out for much longer term time frame, but I don't believe crypto has stopped out yet. I mean, a lot of people are in disbelief, and we're in this phase where everyone is playing the PvP and shitting on altcoins, etc. But I believe there's an opportunity in this whole chaos, and you want to be putting yourself aside from all the noise and just looking at what the chart is saying. And the chart at the moment is saying that you want to be looking for a long place on altcoins. Now, for Bitcoin coming back, I do think that this chop phase continues and it gets like very boring, and just people coming to altcoins. That's what I believe. People gotta start trading more altcoins instead of more Bitcoin, and that's how we get that Bitcoin dominance to drop. And essentially, just Bitcoin is gonna get a bit boring here. People gonna be talking about breakout at 105, fade them. People gonna be talking about breakdown at 93, 94, fade them. So you're just looking at the two fade setups, right? 105, 93, 94. That's my personal opinion about the market right now. There's nothing to be scared about. Of course, this whole scenario changes if you start getting acceptance to 87, 86, and essentially I know a lot of people looking at to buy 88, 87, they're just sidelined right now, but this does matter. So I wish you guys all the best, and if you want to learn more, come into the Telegram.